everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's topic, I wanted to talk to you guys about the difference between prenatal yoga and regular vinyasa, hatha yoga class that's for people who are not pregnant. So today I'm 22 weeks. We just went to the doctors today and everything looks good with our baby. We got to hear our baby's heartbeat and it just got me thinking, what are the things that people are not sure about, how to modify, or just yoga teachers in general. When someone pregnant comes into the class, you're not quite sure what to tell them to do. So I came up with let me count: 8 things that are different between normal vinyasa yoga and prenatal yoga. So the first one would be there is no deep twist. What do I mean by deep twist? There is no twisted chair pose, twisted high crescent lunge. There is no binding twisted. And if you don't know what those poses are, feel free to leave a comment and I'm happy to show a picture of those poses or link you to one of those poses. So anything where it's going to compress the belly. And even if you, especially if you're further on your pregnancy, you'll know the minute something kind of feels way too restricting on your baby, you'll know it in your body. And the one twist that are okay in prenatal yoga are open-ended twists, where the shoulders and stomach can open and the belly is not compressed, it's open. And if you want some pictures or examples of that, please leave a comment. The next one is there is no crunches. There is no core exercise. There's no ab workout. So there is no bicycling. There is no boat pose, Navasana. There is no boat pose. And the reason that is the same reason why you don't do the deep twist is you're really crunching you're really compressing the belly. And also, you don't want the mommy to get diastasis recti, which is the splitting of the abs when there's just too much pressure on the belly. So the only core exercise that you would be doing with your prenatal mom would be anything that's activating the transverse abdominals, which is the corset muscles that come from your lower back and then wrap around in your front belly. So usually to activate that, that's belly breathing. So diaphragmatic breathing. As you inhale, you inflate your stomach. As you exhale, you hug your baby in. So you try to get that whole section to kind of hug in. And it's not any traditional way of doing core exercise. Plank is okay. Plank on the knees is okay. Plank against the wall is okay, as long as the mommy isn't feeling so much compression on the stomach or the belly isn't making like a dome. You know how sometimes when you do a crunch, your abs kind of pop out? You don't want that for your pregnant moms. Okay, the third one is lying on your back. Okay, you can lie on your back if there's like a pillow or something more forgiving for the mom to lay on, because there is a nerve that goes down the back that gives oxygen and the things that the baby needs from the back into the uterus for the baby. So you don't want to lay on your back too much. You'll start to find that if you do lay on the back and the mom's pretty far along, she might get dizzy. She might feel short of breath, anything like that. So if you do decide to put the mommy on the back, make sure there is a really soft pillow that's forgiving or a blanket behind the spine, or you just try to modify it so the exercise is on the side, so that way you don't have to lay on the back too long. Some on the back is okay, like bridge pose is okay, but you don't want to do it for too long. Okay, and the fourth thing is back bending. Back bending is something that's going to put too much pressure on the belly, and that will lead to splitting of the abs, which is what I just said about diastasis recti. So you don't want to do any upward facing dog, wheel pose, anything like that. In my classes, just to be on the safer side, we skip cow pose in our cat to the cow, especially further along. Even for me, when I at 22 weeks when I do cow, I feel like it's just too much pressure on the stomach. And you'll start to feel that where you feel like this kind of parting of the middle area here. It doesn't feel so good as it when it used to. Okay. Oh, and then number five. Number five is especially for dynamic vinyasa classes. Maybe the mommy is used to doing level 2 type power yoga. In prenatal yoga, we don't move as fast anymore because the up and down it can make the mom really dizzy. So that we move a bit slower. You can still do up and down, but you're not going to whip through it. All right. Number 6, no arm balances. So if you think about it, most arm balances do kind of put some pressure on the belly because you have to engage the core to hold yourself up. Sometimes you have to squeeze the elbows in towards your belly, or some of the arm balances are very compressed, like flying pigeon. There's no way the shin could be in front of the belly and then you lift up, right? So no arm balances. So one is because of the belly. Two is because of change in balance and they are holding more weight on the arm balance. Number three, if the mommy falls, falling is not safe for the mom who has the belly, right? So you don't want anything to happen to the baby if you fall too hard, anything like that. So I skip arm balances altogether in the prenatal yoga class. Number 7, along with those fancy poses, I do not do inversions for prenatal yoga because the mom is getting to know their body in a new way. So they need more support in a way that they need more support relearning how to do the poses with their new body. So the center of gravity is off. And like I said, with the arm balances, you don't want to fall on your belly, fall in some type of way that will hurt the mom. Okay. And number 8, the last one here, is that the prenatal yoga class offers you more support. So more support in alignment cues, so different alignment cues than normal vinyasa class, and they will need more props because once you get further along in your pregnancy, maybe you need blocks to get up and get down. Or maybe you need some extra padding on the knees or a bolster when you're lying on your back to have some more give so that you don't get dizzy or feel fainty when you lie on your back for some of the poses. So you need more props. So strap, blanket, blocks, bolster. So basically all of them. And yeah, so those are the 8 key differences between prenatal yoga and normal vinyasa yoga. If you feel confident, you can still go to your normal yoga class, but make sure you keep those 8 things in mind and modify as you see fit. And if you're a yoga teacher, let your students know all 8 of those things before they start to do the practice. And the prenatal yoga class, or if you decide to go to your normal vinyasa class, is the intention kind of changes. Sometimes people go to yoga and they're like, I want to work out, I want to learn new poses. But when you're pregnant, the intention turns into how do I tap into getting to know my body in this new way? So really tuning into the feelings and not bypassing them. So when something kind of feels weird, you know that you're a level 1 million yoga student. If you know that, hey, this pose is not for me in this moment of my life. And I will get back to it once this baby's out. I'll go back to my old dangerous self. Yeah, so the intention of the prenatal yoga is to get in tune with your body. The next one is just toning the body. So maybe some of the poses, instead of like trying to get fit or work out hardcore, is just toning the arms, because you will need to hold the baby for breastfeeding. You will need to hold the baby as you move around your house. And the intention is just to be strong enough to have the stamina to pick things up for your baby, to pick up your baby with your legs and your arms, and just be toned. And the third intention, as you do prenatal yoga or teach prenatal yoga, is teaching the moms and moms learning how to create space for your baby. So your baby will allow a lot of your internal organs to kind of squish up here, as mine are, which is why you have that little top bump. So you want to do more poses that help the mom breathe in a 360 fashion, especially breathing through the back. So finding more space in the back of the body to breathe, side body, so a lot of side bends, upper back openings are very good. So the intention of the prenatal yoga is learning how to make space for your baby as your baby is growing. And the fourth intention that's different, well, actually, this fourth intention is pretty much the same as some of the other normal vinyasa classes, is to relieve any aches. So if your lower back is hurting, maybe you're doing some downward facing dog or child's pose or pigeon pose, depending what you need. But it's one caution I would say is make sure that your moms, prenatal yoga students, if you're a teacher, are not overstretching, especially the moms who are doing power vinyasa or dynamic vinyasa that have been doing it for many years. You want to make sure that they're not overstretching, because they do have an extra hormone that non-pregnant people do not have, which is relaxin. So if you are working with a more flexible mama, maybe they need to focus more on the toning. So really squeezing the inner thighs together instead of going to the full split, or doing like Vashisthasana side plank on the knees, working on toning instead of flexibility. And maybe the mom who is more of a weightlifter or just more toned and more tight in the hips, and they feel like they have back aches, maybe for those type of moms, prenatal yoga students, or just if you're a mom, you would work on hip openings. So it'd be like pigeon, or lying on your back doing figure four, or double pigeon, things like that. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you are, and sometimes when moms become pregnant, their first exposure to yoga is prenatal yoga. So keep that in mind as well. So they need more support. Um, all those 8 things will be modified in class, and the intentions are a little different. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. If you want to see some type of prenatal yoga flow, I have a bunch of them on my channel. If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe, comment, give me some feedback, let your girl know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.